welcome to the video. If you're new, I'm Emma. I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my daily-ish vlogs. And today I've started my day by playing. It's so important. So if you're ever feeling a little bit stuck, if you don't know where to start, remember drawing is an activity where you need to warm yourself up. You need to warm your brain up, you need to get your hand-eye coordination in, and being an illustrator is a creative job. You need to exercise your creative muscles. So just as accountants might practice their maths, creative people, so illustrators, artists, have got to practice being creative. You don't want to get into the habit of just doing like admin and business records and never actually playing with drawing. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to draw like a 5-year-old's done it because it's all creative. To be honest, if you think about it, a lot of people, the most creative time in their life was probably when they were 5 or 6. And then in school, art gets a lower and lower rate of importance and people just drop out of being creative. And I think when people go back into being creative and they see that sometimes their work looks like a 5-year-old's done it, they get a bit disheartened. But what's wrong with it looking like a 5-year-old done it? We were all there at some point. It's just a different stage in our development. And to be honest, the way that 5-year-olds create without ego, without being pretentious, without, what's the word, like predefined expectations, they are so much more in control of their creativity because they are not in control of their creativity, if you know what I mean. So they just approach it by, this is fun, I'm enjoying this colour, so I'm going to use lots of this colour. And I feel like that's what I've achieved today. So let me turn you around and show you. So this is the one I was just on. You might have seen me bringing ornaments from here. These are my like little prompt ornaments that I use. I got them for when the Good Ship Illustration do their art clubs and stuff on Instagram. But they're great little prompts so you can just do quick drawing. That's what I've done here today. So this was a little hippo. Quick drawing without thinking about it. This is a delicious bird. I'm really happy with this one actually. I love how lively it is. And I think the colours are really complement each other. It's just one of those little fuzzy Easter egg, like pipe cleaner chicks. One of these. Actually really full of character. And I also did a couple of ducks, which I've got their salt and pepper shakers in real life. And it's a great way to loosen up and get active in your creativity. I mean, to be honest, if I didn't do anything for the rest of the day creative, this is fine for me. But like I was saying, creativity is something you kind of, it's a skill you need to warm up. And I don't think enough of us play. So this is a really good task to have a little, I don't know, half-hour warm-up, just blobbing paint around, loosen yourself up, realise that it doesn't need to be perfect. These materials here, these are paint sticks. They were a gift from my sister at Christmas. These are great for loosening up because they're so chunky. There's no fine point on them. You can't get too caught up in the detail. Just blob some paint around. And I find that's the best way to loosen me up and realise that, I don't know, it doesn't all have to be perfect. And in fact, sometimes being perfect is really boring. So that's in my big sketchbook, my big A3 sketchbook. And I'm putting bits of paper in between the pages just to stop any colour transfer onto the pages when I draw on the other side of them. For the rest of the day, I keep inhaling my hair. For the rest of the day, I've got an idea running around in my head for a kid's book. I've had it for about a year. I need to actually do something about it. So I'm going to get a big, not as big as this, but another big sketchbook. So I've got these A4 sketchbooks and I use my A4 sketchbooks as like project books. And it's the same kind of idea as this. These big ones, the A3 ones, are where I'm messy just randomly to warm up. These are where I'm messy and throw random ideas around, organised by projects, or where I think the projects might go. So if I've got an idea for a book, I'll just play with all of the ideas. So if it's going to be about a bumblebee or whatever, I'll smash out a load of these kinds of illustrations about a bumblebee. If I get any ideas for words and stuff, I'll scribble them down at the same time. So it's all together like a scrapbook, but organised by project, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get this out. It's not really had any work on it so far. The only work it's had is literally one line. And I did that for a YouTube thumbnail. So it's about time that was filled with stuff rather than keeping it all in my head. I'm going to empty my head out onto the paper. Okay, so I'm overriding my first instinct after I've done a bunch of work here, like warm-up work, is to go and grab some lunch because it is lunchtime. But I've remembered it's the winter time. I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to just say I'm going to do like 40 minutes of that project book work, and then I'm going to get lunch because I can eat lunch when it's slightly darker. That's fine. But I tend not to want to do any art when the sun goes down. So let's just ride the wave. Ride the wave. I'm going to put you up on here. I'm going to need to prop my little angled desk easel up. But we'll get some work done. I keep making a bunch of noise today. I'm really sorry. Okay, so I've got a bunch of ideas down. I've splodged with some crayons and paints and a few pencils. It's a scribbly mess. When I'm talking about getting ideas down for my next children's book, I don't do finished page illustrations. I need to first get the ideas down, and I don't limit myself to getting ideas down in a neat form because there's enough going on, isn't there? There's enough time also for that in the process. So if you're in the same position, give yourself a place to be messy and a space to actually blob paints around, blob ideas around without the pressure of having to be tidy and having to be neat. Because you might find that you spend so much time trying to be neat and tidy that you forget your idea or you don't develop it fully. So that's my little tip for you. I'm going to have some lunch now. And I think Rolly's wanting a bit of lunch as well. So I'll see you on the other side. So for the rest of the day, I'm going to balance my creative start with some very practical business records. And when I say business records, I mean I've got a spreadsheet on my computer where I input all of the money that I've made and also take away all of the costs, all the things that I've spent, and get all that up to date and make sure my receipts match all of the kind of entries that I put into that spreadsheet. So that is a super boring job for filming, so I will not be filming that. Don't worry. But I'm going to leave this video here because by the time I finish that, it's going to be dark and I'll be making dinner. And, you know, that's just stuff you don't probably want to see. So I'm going to leave this video here, and until the next one, bye.